How's it going, Gilbert? I mean, looking at these the guys at edge rusher, just how comfortable do you feel in that group, and how good do you feel about the group's potential to be able to constantly cycle in fresh faces?
Yeah, I feel very confident. Coming in, I didn't really have any too much information on the guys that was in the room, but going through spring with them and now going through fall camp with them, I see that we got a bunch of different players with different skill dynamics, and it's fun to be around because whenever you have good guys to play with, like I said, it uplifts the entire room and it brings people to compete and what I'm saying, bring out the best in other players.
Hey, Gilbert, you being an older guy, what kind of stands out about a freshman like Dylan Stewart right now in that room, and what does he bring to the table for you guys?
Being an older guy and seeing a guy like Dylan, the first thing that pops out is just his God-given ability. His speed, his athleticism, and that's a big part of the position that we play, the game that we play, and he has that down pat. So it's exciting to see. I feel like he'll be a very special player.
Gilbert, have you had to go up against Josiah Thompson one-on-one yet?
Yeah, I've been up against him a couple times.
How'd that go? I guess in the number of times you go, who's won the most?
Josiah's just a good guy to compete against, man. It's iron sharpens iron. Yeah, he's a young guy, but he has a bunch of potential, and you know what I'm saying. He's definitely grown ever since the spring and stuff like that. So I don't really got any numbers for you, but it's been exciting to go against him.
What about Clayton White's defense suits your skill set the best?
I think in Coach White's defense, the edge guys, we're put in a lot of positions to make a lot of plays and use our athleticism. So I think whenever you got a bunch of guys that are, that have the athleticism that we do, it just makes for a perfect match. You know what I'm saying? When we start to understand the playbook as much and not just understand our position, but understand the whys and the coverages and different things like that, I think it'll be the perfect click, and you'll see a lot more production from us.
You mentioned the depth and the bodies and the athleticism in the edge room. Are you guys going to be able to just rotate every 2-3 plays? Is there a plan yet of how the rotation's going to work? Because I'm guessing almost everyone's going to play.
Yeah. So Coach Lucas talks about this a lot. I'm pretty sure if y'all talked to him, he probably said this, but we have a group full of guys that can just that can play ball, and he believes that everyone in the room could eat. So he said he's going to utilize hockey shifts and different things like that. So I think we do have the guys that can handle that. You know what I'm saying? Come in and be fresh bodies and still produce. So that'll be exciting to see.
Obviously, when you came back to South Carolina, it was kind of a thing that a lot of people said of, hey, he went somewhere else and just felt like home was still South Carolina. Have the coaching staff at all used you while recruits are on campus as someone to share your story and say, hey, I've been other places, but, South Carolina is home?
Yeah. Not in probably the sense that y'all think, but they try to just tell me to be like a story of, you know what I'm saying? And I try to relate to that to other guys whenever they need it, or if they just tell me if I see something, or they just hear me, a guy that might have a conversation like that, just tell them your experiences and stuff like that. And I tell everybody that everybody's experience is their own, but we do have a lot of great things going on here that people might not see because, whenever you come in, you just don't know what other places have to give and stuff like that. So you might take for granted of the things that you have here. So they just want me to relay that to that. We have a lot of good things going on here.
When you were at Florida State last year, you and Dre Jacobs both transferred over from there to here. I know he didn't play a ton last year, but I guess in practice and when he did get in games, what kind of stood out about him?
Me and Dre were both from the same area. We went to the same high school and stuff like that. So I've been seeing him make plays since he was a freshman and I was a senior. So whenever we were both at Florida State, it was kind of the same thing. Just seeing the young guy just do spectacular things with his skill set, like his speed and his hands and stuff like that. You expect him to make a lot of good plays, and that's what he did in practices and whenever he did get in the games, even at Florida State like that. I think maybe the first play he got in, he scored a touchdown or something like that. One of his very few plays, but seeing him here, both coming here, he's been doing the same thing. Even today in practice, I think he had like a good one-on-one catch in one of our first periods and stuff like that. So he just continued to just be a guy that is hungry and wants to prove that he can get the ball and make good things happen.
You just used the term hockey shifts for something Sterling told you guys about rotating bodies. Do you have a sense of what that might mean in football terms, what that might look like for you in terms of a snap count?
I can't say. That's probably something you got to take up with Coach Lucas. That's his philosophy, so I have nothing to do with that.
Coming back to South Carolina now, did you expect things to feel different, and have they felt different? Kind of what is the mental vibe for you this preseason practice series?
Coming back, I didn't expect it to feel any different. Because prior to my departure, I was here for a little minute, so I kind of knew the vibes of how things went here. I knew the vibes of the guys. I knew the culture that Coach Beamer has in place and the type of guys that he recruits. So I felt comfortable with knowing that I could come here and there'll be guys that are very open-minded and they want to have conversations and they want to, you know what I'm saying, they want to get to know you. And that's exactly what it was. Coming back here, it was a bunch of, I think, maybe 80+% of the team was new faces, but it was kind of like the same, just coming in. You're seeing different guys with different personalities, but they're all just, they just want to make connections and stuff like that. They're easy to make connections with, being that they're the same type of guys. I mean, everybody's different, but, they're good character guys. So everything's been smooth, I guess. That's it. All right, thank y'all.